buffer there, and then we'll wrap up around 12:30 or so. But hey, everybody, thank you for joining us today. I don't know what your circumstances are right now, but I know a lot of us are doing the whole back to school thing this week, and that can be stressful on any typical year, but especially this year. This past week, I spent a couple of days with some LRSD teachers going through some mindfulness and meditation practices and exercises. And it was really good and eye-opening, especially to hear from the teachers about not just their fears and frustrations, but also just what's difficult this year about being a teacher here in Little Rock. And so it was eye-opening, but also humanizing. And I know that it can be a bit of I don't know. Sometimes we can turn kind of angry and ugly toward each other whenever we're talking about things that are so complex, and we lack a lot of nuance. Sometimes we come at complex issues like going back to school with very binary kind of black and white attitudes, assuming that there's one problem and therefore one solution, when that's rarely, if ever, the case. So all of that to say, today, I thought it would be helpful to do a back-to-school loving kindness meditation, metta meditation, not necessarily just for our students and teachers who are back at school, because I know that might actually not be applicable for everybody that's here or everyone who watches the recording later. But I do want to have them in mind, but also just for walking into this season that's ahead of us. We have not just back to school, we have not just coronavirus, but the political season is starting to heat up. College football season is coming, kind of, for some places. It's like everything that divides us is all happening all at one time. And so just as we move into this season, I thought it would be really helpful to pause today and spend some time in a loving kindness meditation. So if you're unfamiliar with that, it's okay. It's very, very simple, and I'll walk us through exactly what that means. Ultimately, loving kindness is about extending compassion, extending generosity, extending kindness to the people around us. And typically it's done where you think about yourself and you recite a few lines extending loving kindness to yourself. And then you think about a person that gives you a lot of joy, just somebody who, whenever you think about them, you just smile and you enjoy being with them, you enjoy their company, you enjoy who they are. And you extend loving kindness to them. And then you think about a person toward whom you're a little bit neutral. Maybe you just kind of mindlessly orbit around them, like your mailman, or I don't know, somebody that you work with who you sort of know their name, but beyond that, you don't know much about them. And you extend loving kindness to them. And then you draw to mind somebody with whom you're in great conflict. Somebody who, the minute you think about them, you feel your palms sweat, you feel your blood boil, there's some tension or some disruption there in that relationship. And you draw that person to mind and extend loving kindness to them as well. That's typically how loving kindness meditation works. Today, however, I would like for us, because it is back to school time, today I would like for us to think about ourselves and extend loving kindness to ourselves. Think about a student that you know, and if you don't happen to know any students, just think about a student at the school nearest to where you are right now and extend loving kindness to them. And then we're going to think about parents and teachers, the adults that are making decisions and making the year function. We're going to extend loving kindness to parents and teachers as well. So that's what we're going to do. So in order to begin, let's find a mindful posture. And what I mean by mindful posture is if you're seated in a chair like I am, sit upright but not rigid. You don't want to be straining, but at the same time, you don't want to be slouching. You want to be upright. Have your feet flat on the floor. I usually put my hands palms down on top of my legs. Sometimes people put them palms up. Sometimes people interlace their fingers. Sometimes people just comfortably fold their hands. Whatever works for you, but just get your hands comfortable in your lap. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Again, don't pull them down or strain. Just let gravity do the work. The point is, make sure you're not tense. Make sure you're not holding stress in your shoulders. Just let your shoulders fall away. Let your jaw relax. Sometimes it's helpful to think about your tongue resting lightly in the bottom of your mouth. Just let your jaw completely relax, unclench. Don't hold stress there. I usually have to check in with my hips, with my sit bones. In a weird way, I hold a lot of stress there. And so I let everything there relax also. Just make sure I'm kind of wiggly and not tense in my hips and hip flexors. So feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, an upright, attentive posture. Go ahead if you're comfortable with it, and if it's not too distracting, go ahead and let your eyes close softly, and we'll begin. Now, before we begin our meditation time, just take a moment to be fully present in the room wherever you're sitting. Right now, I don't know if it comes through in the microphone, but right now there's a train going right behind my office. And I'm not going to try to tune it out. I'm not going to try to pretend like it's not there. I'm just going to welcome it into my present reality. So take a moment and settle yourself in. Connect in the room where you're sitting. Notice the sounds, notice the feeling, notice the vibe and the energy in the room. And don't try to block it out. Don't try to ignore it or will it away. Just let it be what it is. Let's begin with a sense of acceptance for the present moment. Sometimes it helps to name what you hear. So I would say, I hear a train going behind me. Just name what you hear, what you notice, without judgment, without assigning positive or negative value to it. Just let it be what it is. And notice the way that your entire body occupies space in the room. That you fit in the room somewhere. You're taking up a little bit of space. Just notice that your body exists physically in this room in this moment. And turn your attention now from your body to your breath. Notice your breath as it passes into your nose, and notice it as it passes out. Just like with our attention, don't try to do anything fancy or anything special with your breath. Just notice it for now. Maintain your mindful posture. So again, don't be rigid, but don't slouch. Just be attentive. And as you notice your breath coming in your nose, and as you notice it as it leaves, put your attention on the place where you feel it the most. For a lot of people, it's at the base of the nostrils where the breath feels cool coming into the nose. For some people, it's in the back of the sinuses. It might be in your throat, in your chest, maybe down in your belly. But just notice for a moment where you feel your breath. And let your attention rest there lightly. Again, without trying to do anything or force anything, just notice it. As you continue to breathe, you might start to notice your mind wandering. You're thinking about work, you're thinking about family, you're thinking about friends. Your mind starts to drift, and that's okay. Don't force it back or beat yourself up because you lose focus for a moment. Just return your attention to your breath. And if it helps on your inhale, you can say to yourself, I know I am breathing in. And then on your exhale, say to yourself, I know I am breathing out. And let that be two separate actions. I know I am breathing in is one action, and I know I am breathing out is its own action. And continue to repeat that to yourself in rhythm with your breath. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. Notice if that helps to still and quiet your mind a bit by focusing on your breath, by naming what you're doing. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. And as you notice your mind starting to still a bit, as you notice your breathing and your body becoming integrated into one, let's turn our attention now to thoughts and feelings of loving kindness. Continue to breathe. Continue to maintain your mindful posture. And as you do, just imagine that a bright, warm light is resting gently on the top of your head. And it passes into your mind and fills up your head, fills up your skull, comes down into your face with your soft forehead, your softly closed eyelids. They begin to fill with this warm light. The light fills your ears, it fills your jaw. Might wiggle your jaw a bit just to notice that it's there. It fills up your mouth, it puts a smile on the corners of your lips. This loving, bright, generous light fills up your throat and your neck. It eases and relaxes your shoulders. Comes down into your chest, down into your arms, past your elbows. This light fills up your forearms, your wrists, your hands. It moves down into your belly, down into your lower spine. This is light of goodness, of love, of generosity, light of compassion. It fills up your hips, your pelvis. You feel it in your sit bones, the place where you make contact with your chair. It fills with light, with warmth, and with goodness. This light continues to fill up your legs, your quad muscles on the top where your hands make contact with your legs. You can feel the warmth, feel the light. You feel it in the back of your legs, your hamstrings. It moves down into your knees. Light fills up your calf muscles. Give them a squeeze and feel the light within them. You feel the light in your shins, down into your ankles, goes into your heels, the tops of your feet and toes, and down into the bottoms of your feet where your feet are making contact with the floor. Notice how your entire body now is filled with this sense of light, the sense of warmth, the sense of goodness. You're totally connected with your mind, with your body, and with your breath. And all of it is being held together by this sense of love and light. Continue to breathe as if you're breathing in the light and breathing it out. And now, with the sense that we're filled with light and with goodness, let's extend loving kindness to ourselves. In your mind, repeat after me. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be loved. And may I be at peace. And continue for a moment just to sit with this feeling of love, of warmth, of kindness, of generosity toward yourself. We're going to turn outward here in just a moment, but for now, feel it for yourself, that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of light, you are full of goodness. There are times when we convince ourselves that we are not good, that we are not capable, and the light within us gets covered up, but we're letting that light come up to the surface now, and we're feeling the sense of love and compassion for ourselves. So sit for just a moment with that feeling. Today in our communities, many children are starting back to school. And on any given school year, the first day back comes with high expectations. It comes with a mixture of joy and a bit of nervousness, but this year especially comes with a lot of stress. And so collectively together, we're going to extend loving kindness to the students who are in our social orbits, the students that we know. They might be children who live in your home, children who live next door or in your neighborhood, maybe children who attend your place of worship. And if you don't know a single child starting back to school this year, just imagine the children at the school nearest to where you are. And together, collectively, let's extend loving kindness to them, as many of them today are going back to school. In your mind, draw to mind a picture, an image of a student. And with them held firmly in your mind, repeat after me. May this student be well. May this student be happy. May this student be healthy. May this student be loved. May this student be safe. And may this student be at peace. Imagine now for a moment that this light that has filled you up is now extending outward from you and enveloping this student as well. And for just a moment, the two of you are going to sit together, filled up and consumed by this light of love, of goodness, this light of compassion. Just in your mind's eye, picture the two of you sitting together, enjoying the light that bonds you. Continue to maintain your attentive posture and continue to breathe. And finally, draw to mind the picture of either a parent or a teacher, someone who is working directly with students this year. Notice the stress that they carry. Notice the fear that they feel. Notice the uncertainty with which they're entering into this very critical time in the lives of the children that are in front of them. And so with a deep sense of compassion, with a deep sense of love, with a deep sense of generosity, let's extend loving kindness to our parents and teachers. Draw someone to mind and repeat in your mind after me. May this parent or teacher be well. May this parent or teacher be happy. May this parent or teacher be healthy. May this parent or teacher be safe. May this parent or teacher be loved. And may this parent or teacher be at peace. Now, whoever it was that you pictured in your mind, let them join with you and with the student to whom you extended loving kindness, and the three of you are just enveloped and connected by this light, by this goodness, this love, and this generosity for each other. Continue to breathe. Continue to maintain your attentive posture as you hold them in your mind in a loving and generous way. And now imagine for a moment that this light is not just filling up inside of you. It's not just emanating out to this student and to this parent or teacher, but now that light is beginning to go out from every direction, from you out into the world around you. It's filling up the room that you're in. It's filling up the building where you sit. It's going outside into the streets and the neighborhood, into the area where you're currently sitting. It's filling up the sky, it's filling up the ground, and it just continues going outward until the entire city, the entire state, the whole country, the hemisphere, and the world are filled with this sense of light and love coming out from us all. And as we hold this light out for all beings, let's extend loving kindness to all beings throughout the world. In your mind, repeat after me, may all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be loved. And may all beings be at peace. Continue to breathe as you sense this loving kindness going out from you and into the world. Don't assume that because you've shared it, that you've lost it. It's something we can share without ever losing ourselves. Continue to breathe in through your nose. It helps continue to smile. Notice the places where your body feels especially warm, where your body feels especially happy, stress-free. If you feel any tension at all, let that go. And with one final breath, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope that was helpful for everyone. If nothing else, a bit relaxing and put you into a positive state of mind, a loving state of mind. One of my favorite things about loving kindness meditation is that the way I like to talk about it is that it gives us a baseline for the minimum thing that we want for the people around us. So if nothing else, even if I don't know what the right choices or decisions are, even if I don't know what the right direction is to go, even if I'm unsure of how to move forward in a relationship, I can at the very minimum want the people around me to be well, to be happy, to be safe and healthy, to be loved, and to be at peace. And I can at least hold that for them, even if I don't know exactly what the best way forward is. And so that's one of the main reasons that I'm so drawn to loving kindness meditation. It helps give me a new frame of reference to look at people and to look at situations through. I would love to hear if that, how that affected you, how you feel that, maybe what that did for your mind, what that might have done for your body as we went through that together. If anybody would like to share a thought or two.
I found it very helpful, and I appreciate it very much, Corey. And if anybody else would like to reply, just unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
All right. And if not, that's okay too. If you have a moment and you want to jot down some thoughts, sometimes that can also be helpful. If you keep a journal, or even if you just want to grab a scratch piece of paper and just jot down a couple things you want to take away from you, sometimes that helps to solidify things and carry it with us, and not just get up and walk away and forget all about it. So, but anyway, again, thank you all for being here with us, and like I said, I hope that that was helpful.
Thank you, Corey. We'll see everybody. Our next class will be on Monday, September 14th. It's the second Monday in September. So I hope to see everybody there, and just email me if you need the link. And thanks again, Corey.
All right. Thank you, Jeannie. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.